How a Dubai princess subverted Sharia divorce in a triple talaq announcement. In a bold move that challenges traditional Islamic divorce practices, Sheikha Mahra bint Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, daughter of the Prime Minister of the United Arab Emirates, publicly announced her divorce on Instagram using the controversial triple talaq method. Triple talaq, a practice primarily observed in Sunni Muslim communities, allows a Muslim to instantly divorce his wife by declaring talaq, meaning divorce, 3 times. 3 times. Traditionally, this right is reserved only for men and requires neither justification nor the wife's consent. The princess subverted this custom by stating, quote, I hereby declare my divorce. I divorce you, and I divorce you. Take care, your ex wife. This unprecedented action by a UAE royal not only defies gender norms in Islamic divorce proceedings, but also hints at marital infidelity, with Mahra suggesting her husband was quote unquote occupied with other companions. The announcement highlights the tension between traditional Sharia law and modern approaches to marriage and divorce. Under Islamic law, women typically face more constraints in initiating divorce, making Sheikha Mahra's public declaration a significant challenge to established norms and a catalyst for discussions on women's rights within Islamic marriage conventions. So, Armin, if you've been with Atheist Republic for a while, you'll understand what this means. You understand why this is controversial. You understand why this is flipping Islam in its head and very subversive. But Arm, for those who don't know what this is all about, they don't know what triple talaq is. They don't know the divorce rights available to Muslim women under Islamic law. Please explain this for people who need the background. And I'm going to go pee real quick.
Right. So in Islam, well, you can hear me while you're away, right, Susie? Because I want to know if you can hear me. I can't hear you right now. Yeah. Okay. Good. So you can hear me. So in Islam, guys, if a woman wants to divorce their husband, they have to go through a lot of loopholes. They have to go bring an issue to a judge, explain why the husband is not meeting their duties, and maybe the judge will be like, okay, fine, right? But you have to prove that that the husband is not doing his duties as a husband, okay? And the judge would usually take the man's side. As a man wanting to divorce your wife, you could just say, divorce, I will divorce you, and nobody has to review it, and you are divorced. So now the issue with triple talaq or triple divorce, there are disagreements about this. It's either, so here's the thing: if you divorce your wife, and then you're like, you know what, I regret, I want to remarry her, then this is actually the correct version. The Pakistan version is weird, right? So the correct version is like, let's say you're my wife, I divorce you, I'm like, I made a mistake, let's remarry, so you can remarry. Then a second time you're like, I divorced my wife and I want to get remarried again. And then a third time, I'm like, okay, I made a mistake, I should divorce you, and I divorce you, and then I regret the third divorce again, and I want to remarry you. Now I can't. Islamically, I cannot marry you unless I find somebody to come and fuck my ex-wife. I'm not kidding. My what? This is completely based on the Quran and the Hadith and everything. Okay, somebody has to come and have sex with you so I can marry you again, because you have to go through a marriage, another marriage, and consummate that marriage. Some people are saying, wait, what? Right, yes. Yeah, this is Islam, guys. I'm not making this up. So this is so the logic behind this is to protect the sanctity of marriage, because it seems like me and this woman, we're not taking marriage very seriously. Just marrying and divorcing and marrying and divorcing, right? So to avoid all of this marrying and divorcing, the third time I divorce this woman, the only way I could marry her again is for her to marry another man. and then they divorce, and it goes back to it's a reset. Okay. It will reset the whole thing, and then I could go back to number one, right? So this is why in Iran this has become an industry for people who their job is to come and fuck your wife. It's actually a job title, because sometimes when you have divorced your wife for the third time and you're looking for a man to marry your wife and have sex with her, so then he divorces her and then you could remarry her, sometimes they fall in love with your wife and they will refuse to divorce her after. or
Oh,
or it is or sometimes this is very well known. Sometimes they trick you. They ask you for a certain amount of money, and then they marry you, and then like, aha, now your wife is mine. If you want a divorce, the price just tripled, right? So there are
bruh.
certain people who their job is to marry women, have sex with them, and then divorce them so that you could remarry them. They have a title. I forgot what the title of their job is. And people, um, and even they that who do this for professionally, sometimes you just bring them a wife that is just too hot, and they're like, you know what, I'm just going to retire from this business, I'm going to keep this one. So it is a very dangerous. It happens. Like, we have so many stories of some people, like, this guy was so reliable, he had so many good reviews, he came with so much recommendations, why is he keeping my wife? Like, this is like so, this is the thing, right?
The problem is that this
Uh,
also spreads a lot
right,
of disease in certain countries because they have to
right,
actually have
right.
sex. And they're having, like,
Yes, they have to have
unprotected
sex.
sex with these people that are, like, hired to fuck them. Like, my understanding is that they're not allowed to use protection, like, they have to consummate the marriage, and a lot of
Yes,
women get
yeah, it has to
exposed
be
to
Islamic.
they get
Condoms are
HIV
not
from it.
Islamic. Yeah,
They're, like,
condoms are
spreading
not Islamic.
HIV to your wife off of this
Mm.
stuff. It's so
Right.
bizarre. And Abdullah Samir recently had an amazing post on his Facebook, basically dissecting how Islam's perception of marriage is such a joke, and how, the practice of essentially like Shia prostitutes with the temporary marriages is its own, like, very
Right.
specific Shia thing, but Sunnis also have their own version
Right.
of this. I forget the name, but in which you can get married and basically have none of the
So
necessities of fulfilling the rights of a husband.
yes. So wait. I wasn't done. I wasn't done. So this is
Oh,
why a lot of mullahs in Iran will say this is why you shouldn't go to to you can trust a mullah. This is why you shouldn't get people to have sex with your wife that are just people who have made a career out of this without being a mullah, right? And this is why some mullahs say, like, you should just bring your wives to us to have sex with, because you can trust the mullah. We're religious. We're not gonna like keep your wife, right? So mullahs are competing with people who are non-mullah wife fuckers, right? They're this is a competition between mullahs and non-mullahs, right? In Iran. And some people are like, yeah, you could only trust a mullah to fuck your wife. You should not give this to other people. And this is actually a thing. But the thing with Pakistan, the thing with Pakistan is that and some other places in modern times, is that they just speed run through the three talaqs, through the three divorces, to just show how serious you are, right? So this is not something that people used to do in ancient times, but sometimes you're just so angry with your wife that you don't divorce her and marry her and divorce her and marry her and divorce her and marry her. You just divorce her three times in a row. And there are a lot of Islamic scholars that say, like, wait, you cannot do that. The whole triple talaq thing is divorcing, marrying, divorcing, marrying, divorcing, marrying. You cannot just do all three of them in one go. And some Islamic scholars, some weird ones, they're like, no, you actually can do that. Like, and some people, and this is the thing in Pakistan, people are like, talaq, talaq, talaq. They're like, oh my God, I just triple divorced you. And the reason why they do that, because they're like, I'm so angry with you that I'm so sure that I want to get rid of you. that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna speed run through the Sharia divorces, meaning that the only way I could get you back is if you have sex with another man. So that's how serious the triple talaq is. Okay, and that's why. And some men in Pakistan, for example, regret that. They're like, "Oh my God, I just triple talaq my wife. Wow, no, I regret that. I was drunk or whatever. Now, if I want her back, somebody has to have sex with her." So, and this is a huge debate within the Islamic community whether you can just triple talaq somebody or you have to have marriages in between them. So, what this story is here, which is weird and new bid'ah here, is now we're seeing a woman triple talaqing her husband. So this is now a new chapter in Islamic history. So, yeah, how right.
I love it though because it's very I just like things that are subversive like this. Yeah, this is the weirdest form of swingers I've heard of. It's true. And so I put in the live chat the post that Abdullah Samir did unpacking the Sunni practice of misyar and the issues with it and ultimately how Islam is overly legalistic and kind of just makes a mockery of the actual concept of marriage. Um and I'd really encourage people to read this. It's really, really good. But also Abdullah Samir, also known as the friendly ex-Muslim, has made an amazing video about when he was a very strictly practicing Muslim, how he triple talaqed his wife and the damage that it did to his marriage.
He did? Oh
Um,
wow.
it's a very, very powerful and interesting video because he didn't do a 3-for-1 triple talaq combo. It was, like, over a series of time or even years. Um,
Oh.
but he made a whole video reflecting upon what he did as a Muslim in this practice and how it was so damaging to his relationship, and I think, what I really like about
Oh
Abdullah is,
wait.
like, he's so, like, reflective and very honest.
Yeah. By the way, Islam is very friendly to to men who might have that fetish. It seems like people are pointing that out. Maybe people like, I triple talaq you again, and she's like, oh yeah, I know where this is going. Maybe this is the thing that they have together. They're like, yeah, like, and then she goes and have sex with another man, and then she comes back and like, okay, well, tell me all about it. Like, oh, that was so good. Let me triple
Is
talaq
he
you
allowed
again.
to watch? Is he allowed to
No,
watch?
that's the problem. He's not allowed to watch, but maybe she is allowed to maybe talk about. I don't know. Yeah, she can come and describe it to him.
Hey now. Hey now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um Oh, and we have another okay, we need a moment of Mufti Armin to make a decision
Oh,
because Gasian American has a Sharia question. Mufti Armin, please give
oh,
us
okay.
your ruling. If a man took
Okay.
meds that made him lactate, can others drink from his breast milk and become siblings? Is there a gender stipulation of who can make breast milk? Mufti Armin,
Yes,
give
of
us your fatwa.
course. Degenerates, of course. Only lactating men is it's a disease, it's a form of your body malfunctioning, and that's why the milk is not considered holy or spiritual in any way. Only milk from a woman's body has that spiritual effect because it's natural and in line with God's order.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. I'm high using the Mufti Armin emoji.
Do you know who makes the most amazing, gorgeous, and other adjectives that I can't use here on YouTube, blasphemous art ever? We do! And for some reason, we are giving it away for free. Download them now using the link in the description before we change our mind.